So you guys can see today I'm wearing my Starbucks Union shirt. This is an awesome shirt. I love it. And we're going to talk, unfortunately, about a story that's gaining steam now, or gaining speed now. Why am I unable to... I fucking host a talk show, and I don't know how to talk. It's so pathetic. Anyway, More Perfect Union yet again is here with some phenomenal reporting about what's happening in the country. You have all these Starbucks around the country falling like dominoes, and they're unionizing one after the other. And that's a glorious thing. That's a wonderful thing. It's how workers get better pay, more benefits. It's a way to try to shift the balance of power from just being an authoritarian dictatorship with management saying and doing and getting whatever they want, and the workers just following along like little puppy dogs. So, but now Starbucks has decided we're going to go scorched earth. We're going to go scorched earth, and we're going to do what they literally call a, quote, shock and awe campaign, where they're just breaking laws left and right now in attempt to quell the rise of the union. So let's take a look.
The biggest labor story in America right now isn't getting the attention it deserves. Starbucks, America's biggest coffee chain, is engaged in illegal activities on a scale that has never been witnessed in recent history. We've searched through previously unreported documents, uncovered new evidence, and found information that should establish the basis for a new major lawsuit against Starbucks by the Biden administration. In the last few months, there have been at least 63 different allegations made by employees of Starbucks, which contend the company has engaged in illegal activity against them. These unfair labor practice charges, which have been filed with the National Labor Relations Board, span across the entire country, from Buffalo to Seattle and everywhere in between. Phoenix, Memphis, Austin, Denver, Peoria, Knoxville, Kansas City, Jacksonville, Santa Cruz, and many more. The pace and velocity of these charges against Starbucks is increasing. More than half of the total NLRB filings on Starbucks' illegal activities have come in the last month alone. We combed through these documents. Again and again, the charges made by Starbucks employees are the same. Violations alleged of Section 8 of the National Labor Relations Act, which asserts that an employer may not interfere with, restrain, or coerce employees. For months, More Perfect Union has revealed stories of Starbucks executives pummeling their workers with baseless fears and propaganda to smear unions. What Starbucks Workers United called a blatant shock and awe campaign, intended to psychologically punish prospective pro-union workers. Starbucks subjected workers to captive audience meetings and threatened to close stores, and the company even fired a popular manager because she questioned the company's tactics. Starbucks workers say the company is intentionally spying on their union gatherings, questioning employees about union activities. Workers are being threatened with job loss, warned that they'll be discharged or retaliated against if they side with the union. And recently, more and more organizing employees are stating that they have in fact been outright fired as a result of their pro-union activities. These brave Starbucks workers have not broken laws or tried to maliciously damage the company. No, their crime, in the company's eyes, is engaging in their constitutional right to organize. And they are organizing because they believe Starbucks can have a stronger business, one that retains its workers with good pay and benefits, offers opportunities for professional growth, all while maintaining a better and safer workplace. But Starbucks doesn't want to cede any power to workers, so it is increasingly retaliating in ways that they are trying to hide from the public eye. Growing more desperate as the union campaign has spread to over 150 Starbucks stores across 27 states, Starbucks has pivoted its strategy in recent weeks. They've replaced their CEO Kevin Johnson and brought back their former CEO Howard Schultz, who has a history of union busting, including widely condemned comments made during a mandatory meeting with workers in Buffalo last fall. The coffee giant is worried. Given that very few of its strategies have stopped the union movement so far, Starbucks has moved to the phase of straight-up illegality. Here's the proof. It began on January 25th. 2 Buffalo Starbucks locations had already voted to form a union. Another in Mesa, Arizona was in the process, and the workers were gaining steam within the company and in the press. On this Tuesday afternoon, a Starbucks district manager tried to intimidate 19-year-old Layla Dalton, a Phoenix employee, into quitting. The manager said she was suspending Layla and shutting down the store for the day. Her violation? Layla had texted her direct supervisor. According to an NLRB investigation, the manager began enforcing a previously unenforced rule prohibiting employees from communicating with supervisors by text message. Layla had texted her boss at least 12 times before this incident without any problems, but suddenly she was being suspended for it. Was Layla texting something inappropriate to her boss? No, she was communicating about the levels of staffing in the store. Just a few days before targeting Layla, Starbucks set its sights on another employee in the Phoenix store, Alyssa Sanchez. Sanchez was forced to quit because the company cut her hours. The NLRB determined this action was taken because Alyssa was supportive of the union and an ally of Layla's. A little over a month later, in March, More Perfect Union published Layla's recorded footage of the conversation she had with her supervisor back in late January. We spoke with one of her coworkers, Sophia Lugo, who defended Layla's work ethic. Lugo had her hours drastically reduced and was forced to quit the store. 3 Starbucks employees, 1 store in Phoenix, all targeted by upper management for union activity.
Wow. So, they're not playing around anymore. So what happened was the previous CEO was he wasn't pro-union, but he took a more hands-off approach, and if the employees wanted to unionize, he followed the law more and allowed them to do what is their constitutional right. Well, Howard Schultz was a union buster. He was the former CEO of Starbucks. Now they're bringing back in Howard Schultz, and they're doing that in order for him to union bust. So what you saw there is pretty straightforward. It's pretty clear what's going on. But I actually have further proof for you, because here's Howard Schultz at a recent Starbucks event, and look at what he says about the union.
Now, here's where it gets a little sensitive, because I've been coached a little bit, but I do want to talk about something pretty serious. We can't ignore what is happening in the country as it relates to companies throughout the country being assaulted in many ways by the threat of unionization.
Companies being assaulted by the threat of unionization. He also goes on to say that some outside organization is trying to take our workers. Now, you heard him say there too, I've been coached a little bit. What's he saying? He's saying, I've been told not to go all in with my true feelings about the unions, because if I tell you those things, I might be admitting to crimes. That is the implication of, I've been coached a little bit on this. That's what that means. It means if I really speak my mind fully on this, I might just openly be admitting to breaking the law, and so I can't do that. So even with me reeling it in, I'm going to say that we're being assaulted by unionization. Assaulted by unionization? No, unionization is the workers collectively bargaining with management to get some better conditions. That's all it is. It's shifting the balance of power away from an authoritarian dictatorship where anything goes if management says it or the owners say it. Even with him being coached, he can't help but show his disdain for unions. Look, it's all out there in the open. So what's my main point here for all the Starbucks workers and for the union? And I hope some of them are watching this. And if you are watching this and you're part of the Starbucks union, share this with everybody in the union that you know and tell them to share with everybody in the union that they know. What did we just see with Amazon? We just saw Chris Smalls win. And he won without any major union backing. He did it on his own in an independent way. And they succeeded because they had direct communication with other workers. They all know each other. They all respect each other. They navigated the internal office politics and who's with what clique and who do they know and who are they close with and how can we basically reach out to everybody and then stand in solidarity together. But what they did is they were ballsy. And so there were instances of them going into Amazon meetings that they weren't invited to, and then they get kicked out. And what happened was when Amazon tried to go scorched earth against them, remember they were calling Chris Smalls inarticulate, and they wanted to make him the face of it, and they thought he was a joke. The more Amazon got aggressive against them, the more the workers circled the wagons around each other and stood in solidarity. So Starbucks doing this is terrible because of the immediate impact and all these people getting fired. But also, it is an opportunity for you guys to stand in solidarity, have spines of steel, and go right back at them with that same kind of mentality. You guys should storm meetings that you're not invited to. You guys should use the media relentlessly. You guys can highlight all the bad things that Starbucks is doing and use that to recruit further among the workers to show them, look, it's them versus us. And so my main point here is do not back down. Do not be intimidated by these union busting tactics. You go back at them with the same energy that they came at you. And the reason why I'm confident in saying this is because we just saw it work with the Amazon labor union. We just saw it work. Now, Amazon's not done. They're not going to stop. They're not going to lay down and take it. They're also going to fight back too, and it's going to get ugly. But the only way for the labor unions to win is by being smart and tactical, by navigating internal office politics, and if you use the media and you stay on the offense, you're going to win. You're going to win. And look at all these grotesque actions already being taken by Starbucks. use this as fuel. In other words, use it to feed the opposite of what they want it to feed. They want this to make people disengage. They want this to make the union back down more, to take a more hands-off approach, to not rock the boat too much. No, you need to rock the boat more now. That's what you have to do. And so that's my advice to you guys. Stay strong, and don't stop fighting. Because what this means is they are desperate. They are desperate. They're on the ropes. So keep going forward, and it'll all work out. And you have an ally in this show. You have an ally, with Breaking Points and with others. And, we'll do whatever we can in order to help. But highlighting the scumbag that is the CEO is just the beginning. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.